Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. I'm in my art studio slash office slash sewing room. It's very packed in here. In fact, I have an idea that I may do this late winter, and I'll bring you along with that. Joe and I don't eat until usually, probably 11:30, 12. We're on intermittent fasting. And I got to thinking, I should go down to the freezer and get some of those sourdough cinnamon rolls that I made. There they are. And that got me thinking that I had videoed when I made them, but I wasn't sure if I had actually put that video together and put it up. Well, I hadn't. So today I'm going to show you how I make these cinnamon rolls. Then the extras you just throw in the freezer. It is fantastic. Seriously fantastic. So let's go make some sourdough cinnamon rolls. Here's our ingredients and our recipe. So stop the video if you want to copy that down. It'll also be in the description below. But I like to set everything out so it's ready that I can just go step by step by step. So all my butter, my sugar, my vanilla, my egg, my sourdough starter, flour, milk, everything is ready so that I can mix it in a bowl. For me, I like using glass bowls. That's just me. So there goes the butter, 3 tablespoons of butter, a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of salt, my sugar, my vanilla, homemade, if you have it. Let's put in 1 egg, the milk, and our sourdough. Use a spatula to get every bit of sourdough you can out of that half of a cup. Now I like to use a whisk to mix it up. Could you do this in a mixer? Of course you could. But I always add my salt to the liquid because I grind my own salt, and so sometimes there's bigger pieces of salt, and if I put it in the liquid it will dissolve itself much easier than if I mixed it in with the flour. Now in this bowl it just has 3 of the cups of the flour, though we're going to use 4. Sometimes you may use a little bit more than 4, just depending on how soft the dough is. You're just going to have to learn to feel that. If it's still sticky, you're going to have to add a little more flour. If you have too much flour in there, you can always add just a dollop, a tablespoon of milk to get it the right consistency. Now, after I've mixed it up somewhat, I like to do it by hand. Now, this is where if you were putting it in a mixer, it could be very easy for you. But part of my baking is therapy, and I love the feel of the dough. Now right now it's pretty sticky still, not too bad, but it's going to stick all over my fingers. But I love that feel of mixing it, and so just take your time and enjoy that part of the recipe. Now after I have it pretty much incorporated, I put the other cup of flour on my sheet, and I'm going to mix it. Now you're not going to see me knead it for 8 minutes, but I'm actually going to knead it for 8 minutes. I want to incorporate all that extra flour in there, and I just want I want the dough to be soft, but not sticky, elastic. And so as soon as I get that feel, and it's usually about 8 minutes, I'm going to spray my bowl, and I'm going to set that in there. I don't want it to stick to my bowl. You could also spray the top of it. I am not going to spray the top of it, and I'll show you what that looks like. When I flip that over, you can see where it kind of crusted itself, and that's where the top was that I didn't spray. If you don't like that, just spray the top before you put the saran wrap over top of it, because we want it to set overnight, and so if you don't spray, it gets that crust. I don't care about that. I'd rather use less spray. So I got it all rolled out, and then I'm going to add melted butter. I'm just using a brush. I'm going to coat every bit of it. And the more I coat it, the more you can see where it had gotten crusted on parts of it. Don't even worry about that. You will never know that. And you use less spray. So it's just something I do. After I get it all over, I am going to put in about 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Break up any clumps that you have. And, you know, honestly, sometimes it's a little bit less, sometimes it's a little bit more, because every dough is different. And depending on how far I rolled it out, that can make a difference. Now, I'm going to put my brown sugar on next. Every one of these ingredients for the inside is really up to you. I'm using about 1/2 of a cup of brown sugar. Could you use more? Of course you could. It's your cinnamon rolls, and it's whatever you and your family like. I don't really break up the brown sugar as much as I would the white sugar, because it gets hot and it'll just meld into there. Cinnamon-wise, 1 to 2 tablespoons. Buy a good cinnamon. I know you can get the really cheap cinnamon, but seriously, the better the cinnamon is, the more these rolls will taste exceptional. Now, I'm adding nuts this time. I don't always add nuts. Totally up to you guys. These are walnuts. You could add pecan nuts or any kind of nuts that is a favorite for you guys. 1/2 to 1 cup of nuts. And then it's time to roll it up. Now this dough is so soft and pliable. It's one of the wonderful things about sourdough. And I'm just going to roll them up. I'm going to try to keep everything inside. Sometimes those nuts go flying out. And I'm going to pull it a little bit closer to the camera. Let's lift that up. Now I want to tuck everything in. I'm going to tuck the ends. I'm going to tuck where the edges are. So then I'm ready to cut it. Now this will make me 12 cinnamon rolls. So the first I'm going to cut it in half, cut those halves in halves, and then each section I'm going to cut 3. This is a choice, but with a 13x9 pan, it works perfect. And I spray that 13x9 pan. I'm using a glass pan. And then I'm going to set each one in there. I'm going to try to kind of tuck the edge underneath so it stays together, because it's very soft right now. But all 12 of these will fit in a 13x9 pan. I like using a glass pan. It makes it so that they're done in about 25 minutes. Every pan can be different, but if you're always using glass, you get to know how many minutes a cake takes, cinnamon rolls take, anything like that. But see how it perfectly fits. Now, do these cinnamon rolls have to rise again? They do. So what I like to do is just put saran wrap over the top of them. And they will rise actually for about 4 hours. Easy way, put it in your oven and put just a light on. It will rise. If your kitchen is warm, just do that. But it bakes for, at 350 degrees, about 25 minutes, depending on your oven. They should be golden brown on top. I already took one out for Joe. And they make a perfect sourdough cinnamon roll. Well, I hope you try sourdough cinnamon rolls. And they're just so nice that you can throw all the extras in the freezer. Just bring them out when you want to. I usually pack them in packs of 4. Just because that's easy, gives us 2 different times to eat them between me and Joe. If you have sourdough starter anyway, the recipe is very simple. It's very easy to do. If you don't have sourdough starter, then on one of these sides, it's going to show the video. You can click it, and it shows you how I make my sourdough starter. And in fact, watch all the things that I've made with sourdough so far. Actually, since I think I started doing sourdough videos, maybe September, October. But I like using sourdough. You can make a lot of different things, and I like all the fermenting stages of it, which is always good for you. So I hope you try them. This is Sandi, Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. I think you should have a fabulous Sunday. I hope you have a fabulous Sunday. I am going to do a live stream Wednesday night. Now, I haven't done a live stream in quite a while. I have been on live streams almost every single week, but I have not done one myself. So, I hope you stop over, 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. It's a fun topic, Christmassy topic. And I hope to see you then. Have a great week. It is just going to be fabulous. It's going to be cold here in Wyoming tonight. I think like 18, 20 degrees. May have some snow today. But that's one of the great things about Wyoming. We'll see you next time.